There we go. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to class. We are going to start laying down. Today, we're going to focus on some hip and glute work, but it's going to be kind of a combination of things as well as some balance work. So before we start, just if you have a strap, grab your strap and put it in make sure it's in a loop. Just so you have that for later, so we're not having a fuss with getting a loop in our strap. Don't worry about how big it is. It's going to go around the legs. So not a big loop, but just make sure you've got that and then set that baby aside. Make sure my phone is off. Okay. And then come on down to your backs. Oh, which is a dangerous thing on a Sunday morning when it's gray and cloudy out here. Excuse me. And go ahead and put your feet on the floor and just rock a little bit side to side along your sacrum. You can even go out to the hips a little bit, so like almost a twist in the body, but don't go into a full twist. Just kind of rock a little. And then allow the knees to come back to center. If it feels good, you can take the feet wide and then draw the knees together so that the legs can fully relax. And then feel your spine move out from the tailbone all the way to the base of the skull. Maybe the hands rest on the lower belly. And we start to tap into the breath. We start to notice how we're feeling this morning, honoring our bodies, our energy levels. Taking a nice deep breath in, feeling the entire body fill in or fill out maybe with the breath. Exhaling it fully. Good. Two more. Just here, just nice, focused breathing. And then separate the knees, bring the feet hips width apart, straighten the right leg. So that right leg is all the way down on the floor. Take the right arm overhead. The palm is face up. If you don't have room overhead, you can just bend the elbow. And then reach the right leg and reach the right arm away from each other. Watch the shoulder here, no pain. And stretch it out. And then lift the right leg. Keep the hips nice and even. You're only lifting that right leg a couple of inches. Lift the right arm a couple of inches. Level out the head, right? So if the chin is starting to lift, push into the left leg. Just push into the left foot so that you get grounded. And then find the right glute muscles. There's several. There's 3 of them if you're just counting the gluteal muscles. And squeeze that right side and let it go. Whew. Good. Release that side, straighten the left leg. Take the left arm overhead. So start with everything nice and soft, and then start to stretch the right heel away, the left heel away from the left fingertips. Press the right foot into the floor, and then lift the left leg a couple of inches. Lift the left arm a couple of inches. Even that in itself, right? A lot of work there. Check the chin that you're not over lifting through your chin. And then squeeze the left glute and see if you can find those muscles. And exhale, let that go. Straighten both legs, straighten both arms overhead. And again, you can bend the elbows, you can take the arms wide. There should be no pinching in the shoulders there. The back of the hands are resting somewhere on the floor for most of us. And then stretch the arms, stretch the legs, get super long here, and then squeeze the glutes toward each other so that you feel the hips almost rise up off the floor. Big deep breath. Maybe notice if one side feels stronger or less strong than the other. And let all of that go. Good. Relax your arms, bend your knees, feet are back on the floor, everybody. The feet come a little bit closer together. So we're going to start here and just open the knees out to the side like Baddha Konasana, but the feet aren't touching. There's a little bit of space between them for a reason. We're going to lengthen the tailbone or lengthen the lower back a little bit. Your hands can be wherever they feel comfortable. Press into the pinky sides of your feet. Lift your hips off the floor. Squeeze the inner thighs together and lower down. So the knees go wide. The hips lift. It's not far. The knees come back together and we lower. Good. 3 more just like that. Knees out. Squeeze and lift up. Draw the knees back together. Now, if this hurts, especially your knees, just do a regular bridge pose. Don't worry about the knees coming out to the side. Squeeze, lower, 1 more right here, out to the side. Press up. Squeeze the legs in and lower. We're going to reverse that. So more of a regular bridge. Lift the hips. Open the knees out to the side. Squeeze those outer glutes. Lower down. Knees in. Lift up. Knees go out. Lower down. We got 3 left. Lift up. The knees go out. The hips lower. The knees come in. 2 more. And out. And lower. Squeeze in. Last one. Up. Out. Lower, and take those knees together. Draw your knees to your chest. Nice job, everybody. And feet back to the floor. Leave your left knee just pointing straight up, your left foot on the floor. Allow your right knee or your right leg to go out to the side with the knee bent. So if you had both knees straight up, just let one fall to the side. That right leg, I want you to lift it off the floor. So it's level. You're using these inner thighs to lift and then lower down. It's really the foot that is lifting, right? Because my knee doesn't touch the floor. So it's the right foot that's lifting and pulling that leg up and down. Good. 2 more. Lift and lower. Lift. This is inner thigh work. Good. Lift and hold here, everybody. Flex your foot and give me 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, and 1. And lower down. Just hold here. Let it stretch. And bring that knee back to center. The left leg drops out to the side. Your left foot is on the floor, your right foot planted, and lift the left foot off the floor. And just notice that, right? If you put your hand on that inner thigh, you're going to feel those muscles engage. And then lower down. Good. Lift up and lower. 3, inner thigh. 4, good. 1 more. 5, lower, and then we're going to do those pulses. So we lift, flex the foot, and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Let it rest. And take those knees back to center. Whoo, boy. I know, right? It's really amazing. Those inner thighs, they are kind of neglected muscles. We may find we're going to use some muscles today we don't normally use. All right, so feet back to the floor, your feet are hips width apart. Lengthen your tailbone and press up through the hips. So this is bridge pose. Again, be mindful if your knees hurt, either turn the toes out or walk the feet forward a little bit. Your arms are in those robot arms, the elbows to the shoulders pressing down, the fingers softly pointing up to the ceiling. And I want you to lower down for 3. So 1, 2, 3, press it up, squeeze, lower, 1, 2, 3, and lift. 1, 2, 3, and lift. 1, 2, 3, and lift. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, and lift. 1, 2, 3, lift and hold, my loves. Here we go. So you feel the hips wrap in, you feel the glutes active, the tailbone is long. Press the heels back isometrically so we can work with the hamstrings and the glutes. And then let's see if we can pulse it for 10. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, good. Bring those knees to your chest and stretch out those muscles. And find your breath, everybody. Feet to the floor. Your left leg goes up to the ceiling. Externally rotate that thigh. Let's come to a figure 4 here. Draw the knees toward your chest if that works for you. Now, if that hurts your knee, that foot is going to go below the knee instead of above the knee. So you know what to do here. I want you to just do little knee circles with those feet suspended. You're rocking all around the sacrum here. That's it. And breathe. And then let that foot come back to the floor. Stay in the pose. Press into your foot and gently press the left knee away from you. I'm not even using my hands. I'm just going to move that left knee away from me. And I'm going to hold that for a moment. Optional, push into your right foot. Lift both hips. Keep the hips level. We're just holding here for about 5. And lower everything down. Release that. Straighten both legs. Just straighten them out. Let them stretch. And bend the knees. Let's do the other side. The right leg goes straight up. Externally rotate that thigh. Draw the foot above or below the knee. Make sure your left foot feels solid. And then maybe draw the knees a little bit closer to your chest. And some nice knee circles here. Just rocking around, right? Rolling around those hips. This should feel good for pretty much everybody, right? We're just massaging the sacrum and the upper glute line where the sacrum comes into the pelvis. Good. Breathe, everybody. And then take those knees back to the center. Let your foot come to the floor. Gently press the right knee away from your chest. And then press into your left foot. Optionally, either you press and stay low or you press and lift. So working single side, which is important because a lot of times we can compensate for a weaker side by using the stronger side more. My runners out there will probably recognize that. And lower down, everybody. Whoo, good. Straighten both legs. Shake those out. We're almost done with the floor work. Hang in there with me. Maybe take the arms overhead and stretch. And release. Bend those knees. Find your breath. Lengthen through the tailbone. Lift the hips. Don't come as high as a normal bridge, but find those hips really even. You can even take the palms of your hands to the tops of both hip points and feel if one side is dipping versus the other. Good. And then let's march in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep the hips level. Keep breathing. Keep marching. You got this. Stay with me if you can, right? This is transverse abdominis work, low belly work here to keep the hips level while we march in place. Last one right here. Press into bridge pose, lift those hips and lower everything down to the floor. Draw your knees to your chest and allow those legs to turn to one side and come on up to a seat. Good job, everybody. What a challenging way to start class. Good, just come into a nice easy seat. We'll do a little bit of breath work and a little movement through side body. So take those arms up, inhale. Exhale right to your heart. Push it out. Good. Lift it up. Back to your heart. Push it out. Good. Turn it up. And back to the heart. Reach out. Push. And up. Good. And down. Good. And push. And up. And down. Last one. Push it out. Good. Inhale it up. Exhale to your heart. Whew. And let that go. One hand down, the other one over. Let's just open up the side body and breathe and take it up. Exhale the other side. Good. Take it up, everybody. Cactus arms. Let's twist to one side. Let those hands come down. Open up the shoulders. Yeah. And breathe. Feel the mid belly engage here as we twist. Deep breath. Inhale, both arms up. Cactus, twist to the other side. Take those hands down. Open the shoulders and draw the shoulders down so it's not hiking up by your ear. Feel the mid belly twist. And inhale, take it up. Exhale, let it go. Good. Roll it out, everybody. Let's take one leg out. You can grab your strap here if you would like. You don't necessarily need it. Always and always, right? If that knee is up high, let's put something underneath it just so we've got a nice solid base without straining through the inner thigh. Inhale, take it up. If you have your strap, the strap is around your foot. You're going to swan dive forward. Let the hands come down. Draw the shoulder blades back. Try not to lead with your head. Bring the head back in line with the sternum, the chest bone, and breathe. Stretching out through this inner thigh, or the hamstring, sorry, of that leg. Inner thigh's next. Good, breathe. Good. Some of you can come a little bit more forward, but I'll ask you not to collapse, all right? Don't just kind of do a deep dive with that head. Try to keep the spine nice and long. I'm still softly pulling back with my hands to keep the chest nice and broad. Good. And come on up. Leave that leg where it is and let the toes turn out to the side. I want you to lean back. Again, inner thigh work. I want you to see if you can lift that leg. Oh, turn the toes out to the side and lower. Lift up and lower. If you were in gym classes in the 80s, the inner thigh work, right? It never quite seemed to work. These tend to work a little more. Lift and lower. And then let's see if we can lift and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7. You can do no hands. 4, 3, 2, 1. And let go. Rub out that leg. Good. And switch sides. Whew. Good. Coming into Janu Sirsasana on the other side. Maybe the flesh moves out from the sit bones. Maybe your block is hanging out under that knee. Nice strong leg here. Strap around that foot if that makes sense for you. Take the arms up. Exhale, reach forward. Let the hands come down. Draw the shoulders back. Check your head, right? If you're feeling like a turtle or something poking out of a shell there, draw the head back in space and find your breath. I mentioned the 80s gym classes, aerobics classes, and now I see the leg warmers. Remember the leg, not the guys so much, but the women with the leg warmers and the tights. Oh, yeah, I can't believe I ever wore stuff like that. Good. Come on up, everybody. Roll those shoulders, lean back, turn the toes out, lift the leg. It doesn't have to be high. So lift and lower. It's interesting. This one on this side doesn't turn out quite as much. 3, 4, 5, lower. If you cramp, try to really let go when you lower, and then let's lift up and see if we can pulse for 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. I think that was more inner quad, right? The medial quad than the inner thigh. Straighten both legs, everybody, and shake them out. Grab your strap that's got that lovely loop in it. I'll turn sideways. You're going to need a block too. So if you don't have a block within reach, go ahead and grab that. We're almost done with the floor work. If you're in your chair, by the way, at this point, you can do all of this seated in a chair. So you're going to take that strap and you're going to get it, I don't know, 2-3 inches above the knees, not too close to the hips, and tight enough that when you press those legs out, you can feel the tension of the strap. Your hands can reach back and you can kind of lounge without scrunching, but just so you can work with the legs, go ahead and flex your feet and put the heels on the floor and then press against that strap. Yep, press out against it. You should feel work happening in the outer hips here, and then release it. Good. Press out, release in, press out, release it in, press it out. Yep, release, press out, release. Anybody not feeling this? Press it out, release. Good. Press out and hold. Listen up. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to find some purchase on those hands. Pull the shoulders back. Lift the hips a little bit. Oh my goodness. Breathe. Press out against that strap, right? Working with the outer hips. Squeeze the belly in. Plant your feet. Lift your knees. Reverse table or upward table. And lower down all the way. Release the tension on your strap. So that was a variation modification of upward table. I don't do that pose a lot. My shoulders don't like it. So that was a big variation of that. If you want the more proper version, the hands are facing forward, the shoulders are back, and we'll lift up higher. But watch the wrists here. So I always have my fingers turned out for those. So here we are again. Flex the feet. You don't have to lift, by the way. Press out. Feel that tension in the outer hips, that stability. Draw the shoulders back, lift the chest, lift the hips, right? We are strong yogis here. Tone that belly, drop the feet, reach the hips up. No shoulder pain here. Squeeze and lower down. Nice job. Take that strap off. Set your strap aside. Last thing on the floor work before we get started, grab your block. You're going to take it between the legs, between the thighs. And you can go either narrow or you can go second width. Whatever feels right to you this morning, give it a good squeeze. Now, sometimes the block can hurt those inner thigh muscles, so don't over squeeze. Breathe. So this is the opposite of what we were just doing. We were just working these outer hips, outer hip muscles. Now we're working the inner thighs again, right? So we're squeeze and just release, squeeze, and squeeze and release. And by the way, if the block hurts, you can try to play with it an inch higher or an inch lower, because sometimes the muscles are just sore there. You've got some tight tendons there that can make it painful. Squeeze, release, squeeze, whew, release. Good. One more big squeeze, release. Guess what's coming? Flex your feet. I know. I see cheers coming from the crowd over here. Pull the shoulders back, lift your chest. You can play with your hands, whatever feels right there. Lift the hips and just squeeze your block. And then plant your feet, lift your hips. And lower and have a seat. Good. I'm going to change position for this one. Pull the shoulders back, lift your chest, squeeze your block, lift, plant your feet, lift your hips, and lower. Let's just do one more because that felt so good. Pull the shoulders back, plant your hands, lift your chest, squeeze your block, and lift. And lower. Set that block aside. Oh, so you'll want both of your blocks near the front of your mat when we're ready for that. We're going to start on hands and knees. If you're with me and using a chair, you're going to stand with your hands on your chair, your feet out underneath your hips. So plant your hands, everybody. Watch that you don't overreach with the thumbs, but move into that thumb index finger. Press the right foot back, tone the belly in, lift the leg. Don't overlift. Actually, drop that ball mound back, right? So the focus today is on these hip glute muscles. So I want you to feel that before you even lift. See if you can engage the right glute. Just see if you can find that. And then lift the foot just an inch and see if you can maintain that. Tone in through the low belly and then lift the leg. So you've got a super active glute happening there. Point the toes and then tap and lift for 10. So lift and 2, 3, 4. Don't overlift. I want fired up hips, fired up glutes. You got this, everybody. And 7, 8, 9, 10, just lower the ball mound, relax for a moment. By the way, left knee to left hip, ideally one stacked right on under the other. Tone the belly in, lift the leg, turn the toes out. So here we are moving back into the glutes and tap down through the big toe side of that foot. You're still staying back behind you, Judy. Yep, you're just turned out, you're externally rotated. Breathe. 4. I want that squeeze at the top. 3, 2, 1, and lower. Maybe you sit back on your heels. Maybe you flip your toes under and stretch those babies too. Maybe it's child's pose. Good. Shake out your wrists. Find your breath. We think, why is this so important? It's so important, right? These strong hips and these strong glutes, it's one of the things I really, really believe in. If these are working, then the low back doesn't take the weight, then the knees get some break, right? We need that center core of strength to walk, to balance, to do all those things. All right, come on back, table pose. Left foot back, first find the muscle itself. muscles, right, themselves. And then lift just an inch and see if you can maintain that. The hips are pretty level. Go ahead and point the toes here. And then you're not overlifting. You're not dumping into your back, and tap it down. That's it. 2, 3, 4. Maybe those 80s classes affected me more than I realized. Because this feels very familiar. There you go. Come on, we got this. 7. We need some disco music. We'll be all set. Lift, last one, and down. Good. Lift, and then turn the toes out, and then tap down to the big, inside the big toe, and lift. 2, 3, woo, 4, 5, come on, 6, you can do it, 9, and 10, and lower, everybody. Maybe you sit back and just stretch those out. Shake out your wrists, give them a little curl, little flex, and breathe. And then come on back, table pose. Flip the toes under, downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, let's pedal that out. Let's stretch everything out. Be sure to get up into your toes, right? Really stretch through the full length of your feet. And then take the feet wide on your mat. Pause here, nice stretch through down dog. Walk those hands back on purpose. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Watch that the knees don't buckle inward. Hands to knees. And come on up, everybody. Whew. And shake, shake, shake it out. Stay at the back of your mat, but bring the feet back to hips width apart. Open up, lift the shoulders. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, soft knees, forward fold. Hands are touching something. Don't hang, please. So hands are on the floor, on your shins, on your thighs, wherever they are for you. Stretch out the backs of the legs. Purposefully walk those hands out to downward facing dog. And breathe. Come to plank. Now, plank. Knees up or knees down. I'm super fine with that. But engage the inner thighs. Squeeze the imaginary block. Lift through the collarbones, but reach back through the tailbone. Big deep breath, everybody. And then press up to down dog. Walk the hands back on purpose. Shoulder building, muscle building work. Bend your knees. Inhale, take it up. Exhale to your heart. Roll the shoulders down, shake everything out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it down. Walk it out. Walk it out. We can do this. Plank or downward facing dog. Find your breath, find your feet. Come into plank. Engage the inner thigh, squeeze the glutes, maybe lift one leg. Find your breath here, everyone. Lower that foot if you lifted. Lift the other one. Optional, optional. Good. If you're using a chair, you're in plank with a chair. Lower that foot, downward facing dog. Whew. And walk the hands back. Bend the knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to your heart. Shake it out. We're getting there. All right, one more, just like that. Take it up. Big deep breath. Exhale, take it down. Purposefully walk those hands out. Use your arms, use your shoulders, everyone. Reach back with that chest to find your downward facing dog. Maybe come up on the tippy toes a little bit, and then hang onto that beach ball, that imaginary beach ball between the arms to work with the shoulders. Plank pose. Breathe. Tall poses, everybody. Knees can be down. Watch the hips. One leg lifts, optional. Breathe. Lower that foot, lift the other. Breathe. Lower, listen up, drop the knees, a little baby chaturanga, take it down. Reach the arms back, a little locust pose. And breathe, everybody. Good, let's pulse those hands up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, on purpose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the hands come underneath your forehead. Keep the legs. Breathe and flutter kick. Keep it going. I know, I feel it too, by the way. You are not alone. And lower. Whew. Good. Bend both knees, windshield wiper those legs. Turn on to one side. One side. So, first, both legs are straight. Your head can rest on your arm or on a block, which can be really nice. You're going to take your top leg and either step it forward or step it behind, whichever one feels good, because it's not about the top leg. Flex your bottom leg, lift that leg off the floor. Whew. Inner thigh work again. Now, I want you to look down at your toes if you can and make sure those toes are pointing to the side, to that wall that's in front of you, and pulse for 10, 9, 8. I know, inner thighs. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up high. And breathe. Don't let the toes turn. Find that. See if you can lift a little higher. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. We're working deep into those inner thigh muscles. One more. They're called adductor muscles, right? They bring those legs together and lower down. Whew. Good. Straighten both legs. Flex both feet. Lift both legs off the floor. Breathe. And lower, bend those knees. Give yourself a moment. I'm just going to flip around. You flip or turn and come on to the other side. Straighten both legs. The top leg will either go behind that foot on the floor or it's going to go ahead in front. And one way will feel better to you than the other. They're both fine. The hips stay pretty level, right? Straight up and down. Flex your bottom foot, lift. Good, and lift. 2, pulse. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hold. And breathe. You got this. Maybe you lift a little higher, the knee stays straight. Maybe a little higher. Woo! All the way down. Straighten both feet, flex both feet, or straighten both legs. Flex both feet, lift both feet off the floor. And lower, come back to your belly, and then we're coming back up, back to your belly. Take the feet wide, your upper body stays down. You're gonna lift those legs, bring them in, bring them out. So you're doing like little frog, not frog legs, but just out wide and in, and breathe. That's it, stay with me. I know this is a lot of work. You're gonna thank me for this later. Or not. Come on, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and let go fully. Shake it out. Right, easy to get into the lower backs here. I understand that. We keep the legs low. Breathe. And then press up. Come to table. Right leg out. Lift. Tone that belly. Engage, engage, engage. Left arm out. Balancing table, just some core work here. And lower. Switch to the other side, the left leg out. You know what you're working now. So let's find that. Take the right arm out, balancing table. And lower. Toes flip under, downward facing dog. Let's stretch that out here. Widen the feet. Walk the hands back. Pause here in a nice wide leg forward fold. Let the head hang, the knees are soft. And then bend the knees and come on up to standing. Ooh, good. Grab one block. And take it between the legs. Walk the feet in and squeeze. And breathe. Getting everything back to center. We are going to work with a little balance here. So having a wall or a chair to stand on can be really helpful. We're not going to use the block. We're just doing a little hip reset. And then take that block out, set it aside. And again, maybe you're near a wall. You don't have to be, but maybe you are. So we're going to find this really solid strength. Right now we know these muscles, right? There's 3 glute muscles. There's bunches of external hip rotator muscles through here, right? Not to mention just the core itself. So find that to start. And then maybe your hands are to your hips or maybe they're out. I want you to find that focus point, lean into one foot and just lift a knee and lower, same side. Lift, it does not have to be high. 3, just 5. 4 and 5 and lower down. Balance work here, hands, no hands, your choice. Feel the feet, solidify that standing leg and lift the other. 1 and tap. 2, 3, go slow. 4 and 5 and sit down. Bring the arms up. We're adding the arms here again, balance wise. If you want one hand to the wall or you want to do what we just did, perfect. So the arms are going to come up. You're going to clasp your hands, or you can do kind of that, the soft fist, like rock, paper, scissors. You're going to cover up that rock, right? So either way is good. When you bring up that knee, you're going to crunch and stand up and crunch. Now I'm bringing my core to my knee to my core and up, and you're going slow. Down, up, 2 more. Squeeze, think belly and up, not to mention hips. And down, release those hands. Maybe circle it out. Other side, hands come up. Find your pose, engage your glutes. Here we go. Squeeze it down. Be willing to pause and up. And squeeze. And up. Good. 3, 4, squeeze. 5, whew, and up. Good. Release that. Nice job. Feet are hips width-ish, maybe a little wider, wish-ish. Both arms up. Either prayer hands or that little soft fist, which I tend to like more for this. You're going to do swings, sort of, like if you were in the gym, it'd be like a kettlebell, but it's very controlled. It's not like crazy. So your hands are here. When you bend, it's like you're using an axe, and then you're going to squeeze it up. And when you come up, squeeze those hips, glutes. Slow. And push it up. And slow. Watch the knees. You can go wider. Squeeze. And up. Last one. Down you go. And up. Good. I want you to take it down this time. Let those hands go. Come elbows to knees. Tone in through the belly. Don't overdrop the head or overlift. Push your elbows into your knees into your elbows. See if you can get the heels off the floor. And lower. Nice job. Lift your head. Stand up. Ooh, shake that out. All right. So next balance work. Again, working with the legs, the hips, the glutes. You're going to start in this kind of squat, stand up, lift out, come down. Okay. All of these are for a reason. You're like, what's this got to do with yoga? Everything, but right? What's yoga got to do with this? Vice versa. So, again, as we strengthen all of our standing poses, all of our balance work becomes that much more stable. So, it is hand over fist or prayer. You're going to squat, reach up, tap out. Same leg for 5. Down, up, down. It is on purpose, my loves, right? Down, out. Last one. Down, stay with the out. Breathe. See if you can lift. See if you can pulse. Harder still. And lower. Ooh. Anybody feeling this yet? Is it just me? All right, same thing other side, and then we're gonna see why this has something to do with yoga. All right, here we go. Soft fists. Squat down. Lift up, tap. Squat down. And out. I feel like a little cheerleader. I never was a cheerleader. I was so awkward and uncoordinated. Look at me now. Last one. So funny. Out. All the scars come back. Squeeze that standing leg, everybody. Lift that other foot if you can. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to do baby pulses, which throws you off even more. Breathe. And let go. Oh, good. Walk that out. Shake that out. I know that's a lot, right? It's a lot. All right, last balance, because I do want to make sure we do true balance work. I mean, all of that's balance work, but let's just bring it into a simple, right? Simple from a balance standpoint, from a yoga standpoint, tree pose. Drawing the hip, the standing legs hip in, engaging the glutes, slide the other leg up to your position. Your position might be here, might be toe on the floor. Always honor that. Re-engage the standing leg. Take your hands to your heart. Find your breath. And feel, hopefully, the stability of the standing leg. Tricky part here, release the foot, but don't let the leg drop. Right? So now we're working inner thigh and hip on that leg that's hovering, and then slide it down to let it go. So a lot of times we hear, oh, my pants are too slippery or my shorts are too slippery. I can't keep my leg there, it slides, right? But if we engage, we can hang out. There doesn't have to be contact, but it has to do with both the standing leg and that outer leg being able to do what we were doing on the floor, right? All right, so here we are. Strong pose, everybody. Externally rotate and then take the leg where it means to go for you. Again, if you're using a chair, one hand to the chair. Whoo. Other leg where it will go. Squeeze. Just find your pose. Consider pulling that foot off the leg. And let go. Whew. Nice job, everybody. Come on back to the front of your mat. Hinge from your hips and step back right leg. It's not a huge step. We're going to look at warrior one and lunge. So the first thing I want you to do is square your back foot if you can, so that the heel is straight back. There you go, Lynn. The front knee is bent. I want you to come off the front leg a little bit and find the back glute. I've got a soft knee here. My foot is relatively straight back there. And then I'm going to see if I can get the heel of that foot a little closer to the floor. You should feel all kinds of action here. And then bend the front knee, but keep the back. Yeah, right? So it's a shift because what happens is we usually bend and this we kind of forget about. So keep the back leg, keep the hips square. I'm going to go a little longer because I think I can. And then take the arms up and breathe. Maybe the hands clasp, maybe not. Breathe. This is a lunge, right? Because the back foot is lifted. Breathe and then release it. Hands to hips. Lean forward and drop the back heel slightly to the inside. Level the hips again. Lift the chest, press into the back leg, back glute. Yeah, see, Lynn, you can see it right away. Take the arms up. Maybe the hands come together. Maybe you look up a little bit. Warrior one. Bring your hands to your heart and step forward. So we see why the back leg, the glute is informative in the pose. Like it's like, yeah, now I know why she's doing all this stuff all the time. No, you're back at the front of your mat. And we've been doing this a bit too, right? This transitioning without our hands on the floor, hinge from your hips, and then step back with your left leg. Level out the hips, take a look at your back foot. If you can, the back foot is straight, back or close. The hips come back to neutral. The back leg gets active, the back glute gets active. I feel a stretch along the front of my left leg. I realized we didn't really stretch that too much. And then take the arms up and breathe. Can you go a little longer? Maybe. Can the hands come together? More tricky. Press through the back leg. Worry less about the front leg. Good job, everybody. Bring your hands down. Take your hands to your hips. Lean forward. Drop the back foot so that the heel drops inside. Re-level the hips. Squeeze the back glute. Lift the chest. Now, if your psoas or hip flexor muscles, that left leg left leg that you feel stretching, are super tight, that heel is not going to drop, right? Because the hip flexor is going to keep you from extending that deeply. What do? You can back off the front knee a little bit. Take the arms up or shorten your pose and breathe. Hands together. Reach up, look up maybe. Ground through the back leg, back hip, back glutes. Good, hands to heart. Step forward. Shake it out. Walk it out. Grab your blocks. We're almost done. We're coming back to the floor soon. Breathe. How time flies when you're having fun. So you've got your blocks. Ooh, feel those glutes. All right, baby. All right, hands are to your glutes. See, I do a lot of this before I teach a lot of this. So I'm feeling it. All right, so here we are. Belly is nice and toned. The low back is nice and long. The feet walk back so that your ankle bones line up with your hip bones. Lift through that front body so you're as if you were laying that chest and belly on a table. And then lean into your left foot, bend your left knee, and see if you can lift the right leg back. Once you're there, if you can straighten the left knee, awesome. If not, don't worry about it. Stay in the center line of that left foot. We won't be here long. If you want, release the left hand back to head in the same direction as your right foot. Stay in the center line of your left foot. Right tendency is going to be to lean into the ball mound and lower. Shake it out. Just stay right here. When you're ready, let's go to the other side. Belly tones. Your right leg gets active, but I bend the right knee just a little bit to give the left leg a chance to lift before I fully weight the right leg. And then straighten the right leg if you want. Engage the left glute. Release the right arm back if you want. Variation of warrior 3. Check where you are in that standing leg. And hand down, release it down. Some of you can come down to a squat here and just breathe. You're just stretching it out. If you cannot come into a squat, come on down to the floor fully. Whew. And then have a seat. Keep one block nearby. Grab your strap. I know, I do know. I know that can be a lot of sensation, right? But I don't know. I I have this theory. I Betty said I keep piling it on. I dispense my wisdom with all of you in hopes that it helps. All right, so dig in those heels, everybody. Lean back. Make sure you're finding kind of that spot, right, for a bridge or for boat pose. Good. So take the legs up. I want you to cross ankles. Press the ankles into each other so that we can feel the tension. Take the arms out. You can keep those heels on the floor, by the way. And breathe, lift your chest. See if you can lengthen out a little and then squeeze it in. And lengthen out and squeeze in. Only 5, 3, and in, 4, in, last one, 5, and in, and let go. I went a little too far on that one. Good. Dig in your heels. Come on down to your backs. Grab your straps. Oh, doesn't that feel marvelous? I know. Oh, shoulders down, grab your strap. Let's take that strap around the right foot. You can do your loop or not. You don't really need the loop. Straighten the left leg. Stretch your hamstring. Flex your foot a little bit, that right foot. Take the strap in your right hand. Take the right leg out to the right. Try to keep the left hip fairly grounded. Take the leg up, crisscross, bring it across, not all the way, just so it hits that shoulder line. Take the leg up, listen up. You're going to bend the knees. You can take the strap out so that you've just crisscrossed your knees with that right knee on top and bring the knees toward your chest. Good. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to go to figure 4. 3, you're going to go to cow face legs, which means you're sliding those hands down the lower legs. You can grab your shins or your ankles or the outsides of your feet, separating the heels from each other. Sometimes we can get a little catch in that kind of front hip line. So this might not work for you. A figure 4 might be a better option. Just stretch. We're stretching out those hips, everyone. Release whichever pose you've chosen. Undo the knees, take both legs up and take both legs wide. You can use your hands for support here. You don't need to have your strap. So your hands go either to your outside thighs. I'm trying to get a little away from the wall here, or to the inside thighs, whatever feels good. Take the legs up, both knees to your chest, both feet to the floor. Grab your strap. Let's go to the left side. That left leg goes straight up. The right leg straightens down to the floor. Find our breath here. Just a simple hamstring stretch here, right? Don't make it more than it is. Flex the foot. And take the leg out to the left. Good. Engage the core. Take that leg up. Bring it across. You can hold the strap with the other hand. Did you hear that? Ooh, that's a tight hip right there. Ooh, good. Breathe, everybody. And take the leg up. Bend the other one, cross knees. Move the strap out of the way. Bring both knees to your chest. For a lot of people, this is plenty enough stretch for that outer hip. Good. Either you stay here or you choose figure four, also a beautiful hip stretch, or you go for cow face legs. Breathe. Soften the shoulders. And release. Undo the legs, both legs straight, both legs out, wide leg, supine, wide leg pose. Take both legs up, bring both knees to chest, listen up. We're going to do happy baby. We have not done that in a long time. And there's tons of variations of that. Um, for the most part, you either would grab your big toes or the outsides of your feet. Your arms are inside your legs, your knees are heading to your side body. Now, for some, that's just not going to happen without you lifting really high off your sacrum. So maybe you just grab your shins instead. Maybe you just take your elbows around the outside to the inside of your knees and you hang on to your fingers, right? All of those are okay. We want to get the idea of the pose without straining. And then once you find that, maybe you rock a little side to side on the sacrum, right? Happy baby is a big base. It's kind of a hip opener. And yet, you know, lots of things are bent. Your ankles are flexed, your knees are flexed, your hips are flexed. So just find that, just rock a little bit. Don't make it your deepest pose. Just be soft with it. Be loving to yourself. And then come back to center. Maybe you grab your shins or your big toes and straighten those legs up and wide again. Bring the legs together. Bend your knees. Let your feet come to the floor. Take your feet wide on your yoga mat. Allow the knees to drop to one side. So if your knees are dropping to the right, the left arm softly goes overhead. It's a big bent elbow. It's just stretching out through that side. Tons of glute and hip work today. Soften the belly. So again, if my knees are to the right, I'm sorry I didn't say which side. I'm going to soften the left side belly, the left side ribs. And breathe. And then again, whichever side, whichever leg is back. So if I'm both of my knees are going to the right, I'm going to take the left knee and slide it over to the right. Bring both knees a little higher. And now I'm in a proper twist and more proper twist. Feel your breath, everyone. Allow the chest, the shoulder to soften. And then both knees center, both feet to the floor, the hips level out, and then take your feet wide again on your mat. Allow the knees to drop to the other side. Just pause. Let that one arm reach overhead. And soften and breathe. And then slide the back knee so it sits on top of the other knee. Ideally, bring both knees up a little higher so we get out of the lower back. And come into a more proper twist. Release your twist. Everybody come back to center. Draw both knees to chest. Take both legs up to the ceiling. Just hang on to the legs. I've got my hands interlaced behind my thighs, just so it's comfortable. Feel the breath deepen just a little bit, and then let it go. Release one leg down to the corner of your yoga mat. Release the other leg down to the other corner. Soften into your Shavasana and let go fully. Feel your whole body soften down. If there's anything holding tight, still, go ahead and let that go. Soften down even more. Those of you who are ready, you can start to wiggle your toes. Start to bend the knees, drawing those knees in toward chest. Allowing the knees to rock one side and then the other until they release all the way to the floor. And from here, very gently pressing up. Coming to a seat. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhale right to your heart. Bow to your own inner goodness, to the willingness to have hope and love and compassion. Namaste, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Let me see if I can find the